Hey, thanks for tuning to another episode of The Spiritual Scientist. I'm Victor. Thanks for checking me out. So I thought I'd do another video this morning, and on the way to work, I had a good response with the one I was driving to work yesterday, and I was going to say something yesterday. I wanted to make a video, but I'm too busy. So the only time I seem to have is driving to work. Anyway, and I'm exhausted, but let's get to it. So this one I'm probably going to title hating on God or something like that, because people hate God. A lot of you out there hate God. Maybe you're the only one that doesn't hate God. Maybe you love God. Jesus said love one of the most important things you do, love the Lord with all your heart, all your mind, and all your soul. And a lot of people do not do that, for sure. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm doing videos, right? That's why I'm doing distance healing, because people are not finding their own healing because they're separate from God. When you're connected with Source, you're not going to need a healing. As far as I understand it, you're going to be able to heal yourself. But when you're distance, when that worry sets in, when something separates you, that's when you're going to need to be reconnected. A lot of people are disconnected, especially from Source. From what do I mean? From Source, from the universe, from God, from spirituality, however you want to call it. They're disconnected. So an arbiter, which I am, is an in-between guy. So it's like a in-between Source and you. So people feel disconnected. They don't know things, and they feel like nothing makes sense. They're running around saying this and that. So when people literally are not loving God, they're hating God, they're cursing God. So how do you curse at God? How do you do that? Well, it's pretty simple. They take the Lord's name in vain, number one. Certainly easy way. By thought, action, or deed is how people do it. So the action would be, a lot of people turn to witchcraft, turn to sorcery. Believe it or not, I know it sounds crazy, but I do a lot of distance healing, and there's something called a generational curse. Now, I don't like the word curse. It's kind of a misnomer, but it kind of is apropos in a way. It kind of makes sense. But what they're doing is they're actually let's say your relative, your uncle, aunt, cousin, whatever. You have the same genetic bloodline, and they're actually going out and sacrificing either people or chickens, or doing horrible things and creating spells and calling on Satan and all the things that you would imagine, like in your worst nightmare, that's going on. And then what you're losing as that relative's doing that, you're losing the grace of God that's upon your life. So it's not so much that you're being cursed, it's that the grace is lifted from you, and you're open to all the negative influences that are out there in the universe. So, I mean, I was doing healing, and I've been doing it by online, means for over 10 years. And I used to do a healing for one person, same thing, work out great, everybody works out. Another person, I'm doing it, nothing happens. No, same person, It's like I was blocked. So I couldn't, for years I couldn't figure out, why would I be blocked from one person and be able to connect with the other person? And I'd be like, I just don't get it. So I started really thinking about it, praying about it. And then I started asking questions. I'd say, listen, there's something, you're hearing voices, you're hearing negative influence, negative things are happening to you. You have all this bad luck. What is there something that happened in your past? Let me ask you something. Does one of your relatives do witchcraft? And then they'd be like, oh yeah, my sister actually abducts people, kills them, and sacrifices people. I'd be like, oh, well, gee, maybe that's the situation going on. So, I'm not even exaggerating that much. So, and then I'm like, gee, well, maybe they should stop. So what happens is, when that kind of situation, I get blocked from doing it, healing. So I say to them, the easiest way to fix this is everybody comes to repentance. And people don't want to do that. They want to keep hating on God. They want to keep cursing God, killing chickens, whatever it is. That's what their groove is, and it's working for them, I guess. And so they want to keep on keeping on with that. And then they come to me and they say, okay, I want you to fix this. So I try to have a workaround for the people that are saying they're innocent and they don't have that situation. They're not doing it. Their relative is doing that. So, I say with man, some things can be impossible. With God, anything's possible. So what invariably happens is I'll end up in these it always seems to be the case that this person, that the relatives are evil basically and doing all these things, then they're casting evil spells on them as well. I know it sounds like we're in ancient times, but this is happening, I find all the time. And then, so what I do is I get involved. I start doing protection for them, and raising their energetic frequency, and trying my best to help out and take some of that negative karma, that burden off of them, and connect them to source myself, and use my connection to offset the negativeness. And it does have, it does work over time, but it's a lot of energy and effort to change things around for those people. I can only tell you, it's the worst healing, the worst one that I have to do. I hate it. And it gets so hard. People just need to stop from the beginning. And I tell people, listen, I have to charge you for this. It takes up so much energy and so much time. Eventually, I feel like people are, it helps them and they get better. And then they'll stop hearing the voices and they'll stop with all this. But, the easiest thing is to everybody, pray and stop all the relatives and stop it, because you can see you're hurting people. But people don't want to do that. It's a shame. Anyway, I'm pulling to work now. Not a lot of time to talk about this, but I wanted to share a little bit about it, and I could talk to you about it in the comments. Like, subscribe, share. Thanks so much. All right, bye.